Hey guys, another vlog. Not necessarily tech related, but it can inform you in terms of your tech decisions, your tech buying decisions. I've always favored quality over price. What do I mean by that? Well, what I've discovered over the years, no matter what you're doing, you're buying tech, you're buying computers, you're buying furniture, you're buying cars, you're buying clothes, you're better to spend good money on a high quality piece than to buy three or four crappy versions of whatever you just bought. So let's talk about a suit. I remember years and years ago, I bought a very expensive suit for me, and it was $1,000, and it was a lot of money for me at the time. And I bought it for business, and I bought it for work, and I bought the suit because a very wealthy mentor of mine told me, he said, if you buy a really high-end suit, you're going to have a high-end suit from day one. And because a high-end suit is made with superior materials, it will last a lot longer. And 2 years from now, 4 years from now, even 5 years from now, if you get a classic cut, it will look like a high-end suit. Whereas you get a garbage suit, it will always look like a cheap suit. And within a year or so, it's going to be worn, it's going to look like crap, and you're going to have to get a new suit. So if you can afford it, and when you can afford it, it's better to buy a higher end quality suit that will last a long time, but will always look really good, right? It will always look like a high-end suit. Same thing with cars when you can afford it, same thing with computers. Macs get criticized by a lot of people because they're expensive, and they are expensive. You do pay that Mac tax. But there's a few things, well, there's one major thing that people don't consider is the high resale value of an old Mac. You don't have that in the Windows world. It's very difficult to get decent money for your secondhand Windows machine. But your secondhand Mac, you get a lot of money. And in fact, I've done it multiple times over the years. I've been able to easily resell my secondhand Mac for significant money. Typically about 30% of what I originally paid for it. So if you have I just sold my old MacBook Pro, and I got, it's 2012, so it's a 4.5-year-old Mac, and I keep care of my things. It's in good shape. And I got about 35% of, a little more, about 35% of what I paid for it in 2012. So whatever you pay for, and I've done this consistently over a few Macs, about 3 or 4 of them that I can remember. And several of my friends do it. Same thing with iPhones before. I never had an iPhone, but same thing with iPhones. You get a lot of your money back. So when you're buying a Mac computer and you're looking at it and you're going crazy about the price because they do charge a premium, keep it in mind, there's a long history with Mac computers that you will be able to sell it back for a significant portion of what you paid for it. So to be safe, subtract 30% off your buying price. So if you're looking at a Mac that's $3,000 and you go, oh, it's $3,000, understand that you can probably reduce that price because when you sell it, 30% less. So what's 30% of 3,000? It's $900, right? You're actually going to be really paying for that Mac $2,100, $2,200 once you sell back the Mac that you just bought. So you get the idea. So keep that in mind, that high resale value actually reduces the actual purchase price of your Mac in the end. And it's not something I've done just once. I've done it multiple times. Several of my friends do it all the time. Same thing with the iPhones. You buy an iPhone, very expensive, but there is an extremely high resale value in these devices. You got to factor that in when you're looking at the price, if you're considering the price. All right, that's about it. I know this is going to be controversy. This is going to cause people to get angry. I don't know why. These are tools. Like a friend of mine is a plumber, and he's got wrenches and screwdrivers and stuff. And the plumbers don't get into fights over which wrench they use. This guy uses this wrench, and that guy uses that brand of wrench. And so why are you doing this with computers? I don't understand. It's been going on forever. Mac versus Windows. Now we got Android versus iOS. Now it's MacBook Pro 2015 versus MacBook Pro 2016. People go irate and get nuts over it. They're just machines, man. It's just machines, tools. If you like Macs, buy it. If you like Windows, buy it. I think both are good. I have both devices. I have my Surface Pro 4, which I think is a fantastic computer, and I also have a MacBook Pro, which I think is a very good computer as well. I have both because of my particular needs. You may not have those needs. Most people don't. But don't, whatever. Why do people care about what I use? I don't know why it makes people angry. It's weird. Anyway, that's it. Bye. Actually, I was lying before. I know why people get angry about Mac versus Windows and stuff like that. Because people need to feel justified in their choice, especially when they're buying high-ticket items. I saw that, people buy BMW or Audi or Porsche, and, you get that same type of behavior to a certain extent as well, in terms of, oh, I think Audis suck, or I think BMWs are terrible, whatever. That's what it is. People just feel a need to justify their purchases. And so they get emotional. They feel they have to defend it, and as a result, they feel they have to attack other people's choices. At the end of the day, remember that everybody's got their own particular needs, right? Just because somebody prefers hamburgers to chicken, it doesn't make your choice of chicken. This is a terrible analogy. So I'm going to stop there. I hope you get the point, though.